Ever since the beginning of the series, we had a crossover no one would really thought would work. The world of Disney and Final Fantasy. As time went on and on, it seemed that Final Fantasy was getting less and less rep. Characters outside of Moogles didn't show up as often. Even in Kingdom Hearts 3 before Remind, the only one mentioned was Cloud.
Hades' previous attempts, using Terra, Cloud, and Auron to advance his plans for conquest, had failed.
Given the history of this, it sparked up conversation. Do we need Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts? Do we even need Disney? I think today we should look over how the series and characters are represented within the universe of Kingdom Hearts to see if either of which is needed. And hey, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, be sure to drop a like and subscribe as well as hitting the bell to be notified of future uploads. It's a small gesture that goes a long way for my channel. If you haven't heard how Kingdom Hearts came to be, Tetsuya Nomura overheard a conversation between Shinji Hashimoto and Hironobu Sakaguchi talking about Super Mario 64. They wanted a character to rival Mario, and the only one who could do that would be a Disney character. Then, one day after giving the project to Nomura, Hashimoto and a Disney executive met within an elevator, and thus was the very basic beginnings of how this series came to be. Eventually, the game was released to the public in the early 2000s, and people flipped their lid at seeing Final Fantasy characters cross over with other Final Fantasy characters and Disney. However, while the characters and their personalities were intact, their stories weren't, although they do play into the overall story of Kingdom Hearts. For example, the story of Cloud of being a clone of Sephiroth works in that the two are the same, where Cloud is light and Sephiroth is his darkness. Though that gets resolved in Kingdom Hearts 2, where the fight isn't concluded, but it gets continued somewhere else. Kingdom Hearts 1 has the characters in Traverse Town working to get their home, Hollow Bastion, back. They're also there to plant red herrings to the audience about the Keyblade. Granted, not on purpose mind you, they didn't know anything outside the legends. But they also let Sora know about the other worlds, as well as pretty much train him to a degree if you think about it. Cloud was on his own mission in Olympus as he was tasked to kill Hercules. However, he becomes good again once he realizes that Hades isn't there to help him find someone. And later, if you take on Sephiroth, the two duke it out. He also gives Sora advice to not lose sight of the light. In Chain of Memories, they're there to set up story points about how people can have memories within their heart and how dangerous it can be. Tidus, Selphie, and Walker are there to play into Sora's comfort for his friends and just disappear for Riku. While not real, they still play a crucial point within the story, showing how painful a memory can be, or just even be a lie, and that we should be careful. In Kingdom Hearts 2, they're fighting it back against the darkness that's invading their home to the point that it breaks out into a mini-war, hence why they're a part of the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee, which doesn't get resolved and becomes Radiant Garden once more. Of course, there's more to the story than that, but that's basically the gist of it. The characters of Cypher, Raiji, and Fujin in Twilight Town are in a discipline committee that look over Vivi, but they're a bit of a bullies to the Twilight Town gang. Setzer is champ of the struggle tourney. Riku, Yuna, and Pain show up as fairies trying to help Maleficent, but change sides later on, and even gives us a Keyblade. Is all this in characters for these guys? I've only played 1-7 in Crisis Core, so... Hi, Editing Cakes here. I forgot Auron again. Basically, Hades wanted a bad guy in order to defeat Hercules, who has already been defeated, aka dead. So he gets Auron. Well, Auron gives him the coldest line in this one of the coldest lines in the series.
This is my story, and you're not part of it.
Afterwards, he teams up with Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and they go about their goofy ways, yada yada yada. Until they come back for one of their visits, and Hades has control of them with his, soul or memories in this Auron doll, and then they get it back, and they rescue him, and then they kill Hades. Woo! They don't show up at all in 358 from what I remember. In Recoded, the only ones to show up from memory is Sid and Cloud. Sid is looking for Donald's nephews, and Cloud is trying to kill Hercules again before realizing that's a big no-no, and helps fight against Hades. It's been so long that I can't remember if anything actually plays into the story outside of that. Maybe a replay of Recoded needs to happen. In Dream Drop, they didn't use Final Fantasy characters, save for Moogles, as they pay homage to The World Ends With You instead. Zack shows up in Birth by Sleep, and his character is quite literally him, but he looks younger. And his story is basically, well, be him. He motivates the others, is a bit competitive in a good way, and wants to be a hero. He does get controlled by Hades for a short bit until Terra saves him, though we don't know what happens to him, but if you know, then, well, it's possible he also had the same end. Hi, editing cakes again. Guess what I forgot? In Kingdom Hearts 3, they didn't really have a purpose. In fact, the only line that they got was shown at the beginning of Cloud being taken over by Hades, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However, Nomura and the team did put him back in Remind because they later learned how much beloved the Final Fantasy characters are, and the crew in Hollow Bastion, consisting of Sid, Yuffie, Leon, where they help Riku and they help Kairi try to find Sora wherever he could be located at. Outside of those, the cast has rarely shown up, if at all. There are some NPCs who are named after Final Fantasy characters, but that's it. Though, looking over it, they didn't play into the story as much as people make it out to be. That isn't to say their roles are small or they didn't play into it at all, but let's be fair, there isn't much there. Disney, on the other hand, is a whole other deal. If it wasn't obvious enough on who the King of It All was, it's good old Micah Rattington. Outside of the original world we go to, it's pretty much just Disney only. Our partners are usually just Disney characters outside of a few times. And at the end of the day, this is more of a Disney-centered game with a story that reads like one giant Final Fantasy story. Disney's the name of the game, and Final Fantasy is only here to show up to some holiday events. Though, as someone who's only beaten about 2 Final Fantasy games, I do wish we had more rep. Like, it doesn't have to be characters like Cloud or Wakka, but some other smaller stuff would be nice. Imagine we got to fight other enemies from Final Fantasy. Imagine a Tonberry fight or a Cactuar fight. Something, you know? We did get a small Cactuar reference in 3, but you know what I mean. It'd just be nice to get more of that. Who knows, maybe in Kingdom Hearts 4? Union Cross did have medals, so maybe Missing Link will have figures. What's all your opinions on it? Do you think we need more Final Fantasy stuff in the games, or is it just being Disney okay? Let me know below, and hey, while you're at it, why not subscribe and hit the bell to let you know when I do more stuff like this? Hit the join button to become part of the Union to get a shoutout and some exclusive stuff like emotes or members-only videos. I may even do some member-only live streams from time to time exclusively here on YouTube. I also have Twitter and a Blue Sky, so if you're up on either of those sites, drop a follow to see the dumb stuff I post and to keep you updated when the video goes up or when I stream live on Twitch. Thanks for watching, and may your heart be your guiding key.